Greetings and welcome and thank you for being here with me today. I welcome each and every one of you and thank you for taking this time to come over to Dr. Darina Shine's podcast and just get a glimpse of what's on my mind today. This video message is for those who are looking at business and just starting out, or who may be in a relationship just starting out, or who may be just starting out on something, on the path of a new journey. I'm here to let you know that this video message is about not mixing business with pleasure. Remember, we talked a few days ago about pleasure equaling addiction. So success breeds results, right? Pleasure breeds addiction, because the more we're happy, the more we're consistently given, the more we're going to want it. But when you get that balance of a little joy, a little pain, a little sun, a little rain, you're going to realize that it balances itself out. You have the gratitude behind the mission of being happy, being successful. And that's what I want to talk about today. So that theory brought to mind a client I met about 4 years ago. This gentleman was very handsome, very astute, very professional, but yet a second chancer. He embraced my services for housing as well as employment. And one thing about this client, I will call him wonderful, because he was wonderful. I was very semi-attracted to him. I'm just going to keep it real. You know, we are attracted to who we're attracted to. But I never overstepped those boundaries. I stayed my distance. And in business, I know how to do that because I've been doing it for many, many decades. So I know how to still be attracted to someone, but not overstep those boundaries, okay? It's just humanity. It's just being human, right? Emotions and things that you feel is all about being human. Well, anyway, it was a great thing that I thought that way, because mixing business with pleasure in this situation, Wonderful helped with so many different upgrades to the property. He assisted me in meetings and business ideas, and we just grew. It was a client-tenant relationship that grew to surmountable areas, okay? And one day, he started sharing with me his relationship and the separation of him and his wife. And then that's when my heart went out to him, because it felt as though he still really loved and cared about this woman. And it was amazing. I don't know if he set it up or not, but it was amazing that they lived very close in the proximity of where he moved. And I'm thinking, was that move specifically to be close to getting his wife back? And sometimes you got to think about that. That's powerful. When a man knows what he wants, nothing will stop him from pursuing that thing. So as we grow and connect, the attraction kind of dies away. But there's an empowerment that comes in its place. Like a situation where I say we became close professionally. And that's something that I want you to recognize in business, even in a new relationship. If you have someone that you're interested in, take your time. Don't pursue it too fast. because the regret comes after that pleasure. Now, in this instance, it worked out beautiful because we started working together to find ways to get them to reconnect. One day, they got together for Sunday dinner with the kids, and everything was wonderful. And then the next couple weeks, they went out on a date. I mean, it was just completely wonderful. Now imagine if I had have intervened and gotten into an attracted relationship with someone whose mission was to get back with his wife regardless. I would have felt so crushed. I would have felt so emotionally like, oh, well, he played me. No, I would have at that point played myself. So mixing business with pleasure is not a good way to create a relationship with anyone. And many people can say whatever they want to say. Some may say, yeah, I hit that, or yeah, he was this, he was that. But the two people involved, they know the reality. And so that's what I want to talk about today, because yeah, a lot of women in relationships, they jump in it so fast. And then when the man shows their true colors, now we have a problem. But the problem lied in the action of the pleasure before the reality. Get to know the person. And I'm that way in business. I mean, when I connect or meet with a client, I'm super happy. And you might say that is, in one sense, an attraction. It is a relative relationship that has me like, yes, we can do some good things together. But it's not a sexual attraction. It's not a physical attraction. It is an emotional attraction. We must be very careful about the emotional attractions as well, because someone may emotionally trigger you because they know that you do this or that and your heart is in it. And their goal is to manipulate the situation altogether. So this is what I meant when I said if Wonderful had been a dog, or, someone that did not focus on what he was looking for, got into a connection with someone who was attracted to him only to go back to his wife, the question would be, how would that attractee feel? Because they made a decision. Again, everything, and I preach this over here at hashtag Dr. Darina Shine. We are creators and manifestors of the world in which we see that becomes our reality. So I want you to think about that, because that is significant. That is really, really profound. Mixing business with pleasure, I've had many of times where that could have been done, and I'm very proud of myself that I did not indulge. Because again, that pleasure is going to result in addiction. You're going to want more and more and more and more. But if you put control in the forefront and you set boundaries in that control, you're going to be able to remove a lot of obstacles. And you got to think about sexual harassment when you're in business. Now, in personal, you may not be dealing with sexual harassment. However, you can definitely catch an STD. You can definitely get caught up in a psychological situation, a controlling situation, a manipulative situation, a narcissistic situation, and then you are the creators of it because you put yourself in that position. Also, staying focused and inspiring others at the time of watching their growth and their dream come to life is more valuable than a 1-minute intimate moment of pleasure that is going to go nowhere. Definitely. So, in business, we must be willing to accept whatever we choose. Whatever we choose, I'm just going to say that. Because it will be whatever we choose. And that is a powerful place to be. Some people don't want to accept the consequences behind the choice, but that's a whole nother topic. Mixing business with pleasure will result in lawsuits. So you work so hard to build your brand, and then the next thing you know, you have photos that are leaked that are not AI generated. Okay, and you will know the difference. AI has a tracking device that shows the difference between dubbed documentation and those that are real. So being real. See, one thing that I learned from Wonderful is that the attraction only takes it where the eye candy can replace the reality. The eye candy is only there as a opportunity. But when you start to mentally look at everything around the scenario, then you're like, oh, I can't do that. Number one, I got too much to lose. Number two, the involvement is going to be hard to confront and face. Because again, ladies, many of you already know what I'm talking about. I'm looking at a Country Wayne skit right now. He's doing a podcast and he has all of his exes around the table. And the women are complaining about how he played them and how he was just out for what he could get from them. And he thinks that money can buy anything and everything. But the reality of it is, when I looked at it in hindsight, I said, if the women put themselves there, then they are the ones to blame. Because a man can only do so much that you allow. Now, if he took it, that's a whole nother scenario, and that's something that can be a legal ramification for. And when you're a billionaire, the last thing you want is for someone to sue you for something that you know good and well is a no-no. It's just ridiculous. Unless, of course, you're seeking the pleasure which created the addiction. So in business, we will meet beautiful people. We will experience beautiful pleasures. We will hear the beautiful things we may want to hear because we're giving something to the client. We're giving a service. We're providing a means of support, success, generated opportunities, and the ability to get them out of their situation that they're in. And of course, people are going to want to reach out to you and say, hey, you know what? I owe you the world for helping me. But sometimes the best owing is just continue to do what you do. Because that is the best feeling that a person can really get when they did not overstep boundaries that they were not supposed to, and yet everyone walks away with everything they desired. Wonderful walked away with getting back with his wife. I walked away with a good learning lesson. His wife made me a beautiful outfit. I mean, wonderful. A wonderful place to be. And no one has to feel intimidated or inferior. Everything is just a balance. And that's why the choice of not mixing business with pleasure is very, very valuable. And don't connect in a personal way. So even though I had the attraction to Wonderful, I never went above and beyond more than what I would. I didn't wear tighter clothing. I stayed normal. And in staying normal, maybe the onset of the attraction was there, but it died immediately because of the fact of When a business entrepreneur knows their level and standard of positioning, morality and integrity must be at the forefront of every scenario and every thought. Are you doing this for the best interests of the individual that you are servicing, or are you doing it for yourself? And that's the reason why some businesses succeed and some succeed with a little wink of an eye, kind of like watch them, or how some just die off. Perfect example, a business that I went into and patronized, 30-year business, but they're so comfortable that instead of them respecting the onset of what the customer needed, they either didn't have the know-how, the business was either passed down to the next generation who didn't really care. But we'll talk about that. But that's a whole nother topic. But it goes back to the reality of when you choose to relate your business and your brand to how you behave, those things come back. Wonderful had a mission, and I'm so proud that he committed to his mission. He did not get distracted, and he moved with precision. And that's what tenants, clients, customers, you have to do that as well. Just because someone is in a position and you think that they may be able to get you into a position closer, faster, they may know people you don't know. Sometimes it's just better to get it from the bootstraps up. When you do that, you feel more inspired. And also, we must work to be established. When we have a business, our goal is to be established in a successful way. And time will tell everything. Whether a person lies or defames or degrades your name, can put you in a loop full of unnecessary situations, time is going to tell it all. Stay business centered. And if we do all these things that we've discussed today, no one will regret the relationship. And the business customer relationship will be so positive until someone's going to tell someone about the feeling of try this person. Word of mouth is my way of gaining client base. So with that, thank you so much for being here. I hope this information helps you. And this can be in any situation, whether you're in a relationship and you're a new parent and you have to connect to you have to co-parent for 18 years, good information. Keep the boundaries there. Whether you are a first-time employee and that employer is hitting on you, keep the boundaries. Because that employer knows the value of his status, her status. And when you have a status and you have a title, you must think of morality and integrity before you think of pleasure. Don't mix business with it. And for those of you who have gotten this far in the message, if this message has resonated with you in some way, some shape, give it a thumbs up, comment, and like and share. It's free. You can do that. You can do that. And for those of you who may not have received anything from the information, come back and see us another time. I guarantee you there's going to be something that is going to resonate with your situation, because we talk all things success here. And with that, we thank you all so much, and we will see you next time.